Hi, I'm Barry, this is Mega City Gaming, and this is a terrain build for Strontium Dog or Wasteman or any other post-apocalyptic wasteland environment. Right, we'll see how that goes. It's not sticking right now, but super glue doesn't stick until it sticks really, and then it doesn't let go. Right, we'll leave that for a second to right, what else we got? Got this Games Workshop Schwabaway. So these are like razor plants or scorpion plants or something. I forget what they're called. I forget. I care not what they're called. But again, you know, when you go into Games Workshop, or in my case, when I go into Games Workshop, I always have to buy something. And gone are the days of buying miniatures that I'm never going to use. I paint them up and then give them away, usually. Gone are those days, but obviously GW do a lot of good terrain stuff as well nowadays. So I bought a box of Schwabaway, whatever they're called, whatever the box is called, but it's good stuff. It's not actually the same plastic as miniatures are made of, so you have to use super glue to stick these puppies on. Right, so I'm going to put one over there. Imagine the only source of water in like 200 miles. It's going to be a bit of Schwabaway hanging about. There we go. Right, one there. One there. Yeah. Right, super glue. Right, let's do this one first. Actually, before I stick those on, because they're going to be tricky to paint underneath and stuff, I'm going to wait for those, paint them and then stick them on, or paint at least undercoat the underneath and then stick them on. Yeah, right. And we've got a couple of skulls from GW again. Can't leave that shop without buying something. So box of skulls, actually quite good value for money. So got like a, I guess it's a demon skull, but you know, it could be a wasteland goat or something, and a bird skull. So I've got a bit of Vallejo leather brown. Any dark brown will do. It's the first dark brown I picked up out my paints box, and I'm just gonna paint the underneath of the plants. And normally I'd stick this onto a bit of blue tack on one of my paint pots, but all of my blue tack and paint pot combinations are currently occupied with Strontium Dog Wave 3 and Build a Mutie set, which is Wave 2. So they're getting painted. Actually, that Build a Mutie box, obviously there are lots of head options and stuff like that, and lots of arm options, so I had a bit spare, a few spare bits, and I painted, no, I stuck together using the spare arm and spare heads and stuff like that. One was a goblin, I think Kings of War or something, goblin, and I stuck a wobbly head, like a long wobbly head neck on it, and yeah, you'll see anyway, you'll see. Right, in my impatience, I've decided I'm going to seal this blue stuff using like old milk paint or something. It's house paint basically. So I'm going to seal it, basically paint it white while the putty's drying, and then when it's all dry I'm going to spray the whole thing black. Hopefully it won't melt this. Hopefully I can seal it properly using this. Let's try it, you know. Who dares wins, as they say in the SAS and on TV. Circa 1985, England. Right. So the putty isn't dry yet, so let's move this out of the way. Keep your workspace tidy. Right. Any bits of blue stuff showing on the inside, I'm gonna paint over. Hopefully that'll protect it. Let's go around the top. Just using a standard big brush that I use for terrain pieces, or it's actually a dry brush. You might have seen it before, crops up quite regularly. I don't have many brushes, that's why I always use the same ones. I always use the same ones. You know, it's like an old pair of shoes. You're reluctant to change. Right, I see a little bit of blue. I see blue underneath that pipe. Right, that's the top sealed, as far as I know. Let's do around this side. Make sure every little bit is covered, and we still want to see the texture underneath if possible. Yeah. Right, try not to knock the green stuff bits, putty bits that are still drying, because until they dry they're not secure. Here it is, it's been primed, spray primed, dark brown. Black would work equally as well. I just happen to have a dark brown spray can. So, and now it's all primed, it's all tied together, it looks really good. It didn't melt, although I think in some spots it did get through and it kind of melted a little bit, but it still retained its general shape. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to go over any bits that the primer didn't get, and I'm just using black. It doesn't matter what colour you use, as long as it's a dark colour. Could equally use brown, dark brown, and I just happen to have black on hand, so there's a little bit down here that didn't get got. Under the sign, that didn't get got. So it's worth having a system. I think I mentioned something like that before. In a piece of terrain that's got lots of different surfaces and bits on it, it's worth having a system, go left to right, up to down, or something like that, so you don't miss any bits, because it's a bit of a pain in the ass if you start painting it and then you realise, oh, I missed a bit. It's worth doing it all in the right order. Yeah, so that white house paint sealed it quite nicely actually, as well as the texture paint on the inside. That worked quite well as far as sealing it is concerned, and it doesn't look as bad as the blue foam, raw blue foam with all bits of tags hanging off it and stuff. All bits of tags hanging off it. It was rough as old boots it was. But the old texture paint, the Tamiya texture paint, one of the few Tamiya products that are any good, as well as the putty and the texture paint and some of the brushes, like this brush, very worth getting. The paint, no, don't even think about getting the Tamiya paint. Don't even think about it. Right, just doing the inside of the bucket. I don't know why, but yeah, just do the inside of the bucket. There you go. Right, job done. Now, I'm going to start putting some colours on it. So, I'll do, what should I do first? The ground? Should I do the ground first and then do the other bits? Let's do the ground, yeah, because I know what colour that's going to be. Obviously we want it to be the same colour as the matte, or if possible, and a close match I found is the same colour I do on the bases, and that's the cork brown. So kind of like an overbrush of cork brown. I'm going to use a big brush for that. I went to GW yesterday and got a new brush. So this is a large dry brush compared to what I had bought like 10 years ago, which is a small dry brush. I suppose it is smaller, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm using the small dry brush, which isn't actually that small. I'm just going to go around, do the ground, over brush, and then we'll add the details. Shall I do that first? Yeah, let's do that first. Yeah, because we can. It's very easy to fix if we go paint something else and make a mistake. So, right. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Right. Yo, Coke Brown. Coke Brown. So if we use a big flat dry brush and overbrush, it brings out your eyes. No, it brings out the details a bit on the mulch and MDF. Not that there's any details on the MDF apart from what I've cut into and torn with my bare hands. Bare hands. Yeah. Coke Brown. That's my standard colour for doing bases. Either that, or for urban bases I do grey obviously, but I was contemplating getting some clear bases. So this is why I haven't stuck these bits on yet, because like even with this wagon wheel it's difficult to get underneath it. So I probably should have stuck that on afterwards as well. Don't do what I do. learn from my mistakes. Right, let's have a bit more. Get a bit more out. Get it out. Wah, wah. So the well itself, yeah, the well itself, yeah. Thinking, cogitating furiously about what colour to do the brickwork on the well. Right. Yeah, see what I mean? It's difficult getting behind the wagon wheel, and obviously it'll be really impossible to get under these plants and stuff, so that's why they're going on last. And it doesn't matter too much. I mean, it casts a natural shade if you can't get too much behind the wagon wheel. As long as there's a bit under there, it's fine. Isn't it? Tell me it's fine. Tell me it's fine. As long as there's no like stark, like this bit is done and this bit isn't. As long as it's like, it kind of fades. Right. Now that is looking a lot more like a bit of terrain. Something that would, yeah, something you'd see in the wasteland. Right, so as for the well itself, I might paint each individual brick, even though I can't see it so much now because of all the layers of paint I put on it. Yeah, should have done that really, or maybe I should have pressed harder with the old texture. So I kind of decided that the well would be the same stone as what's lying about. I mean, why import stone when you can just pick it up off the ground? And I'm kind of approximating the pattern of the brickwork. I can just about see some of the brickwork underneath, and I'm just going in with the old cork brown, and and it's turning out quite cool actually, like that. Yeah. So I can see the vertical lines, not vertical, horizontal lines quite clearly, but the vertical lines, the short vertical lines, aren't quite so clear. But it doesn't matter because I'm making it up. Just making it up as I go along. Where have I heard that before? Yeah, keep the bricks uneven, as in horizontally they're all laid out, but they are all different lengths, so don't have them all stacked on top of each other, you know. Keep it kind of staggered, that's the word, staggered. Like that film with Martin Clunes in it from 1990. Yeah, everyone knows what I'm talking about. I believe it was kind of like The Hangover, I think. Before The Hangover was even a glint in the director's eye. Right, I'm going to go all the way around. You don't have to watch me do that. So hopefully I'll get that kind of look all around the rest of it. There you have it. I've done all the bricks all the way around, and the spare bit of paint I had on the palette, I just kind of overbrushed the inside of the well, because there's no bricks on the inside of the well. I just overbrushed that. Right, now I'm going to do the water, or the goo. So that'll be like a greeny colour. Let's do it green. What have I got? Scorpion green, scorp green, lime green, scorp green, scorpion green. Yeah, why not? Right, scorpion green it is. I can darken it down with washes and stuff if need be. Right, and scorpion green, it's a lovely colour. But it's not that thick. You can still see there's like streaking and stuff, so I might have to give it another coat or something. Right, the hot glue kind of blobbed up. It does. Ah, yeah, look at that. Ooh. So the shape of the hot glue has made it, yeah, look like that. Awesome. I'm going to give that another coat when it dries. Right, next let's do the water. So we did the goo, the unclean water. Unclean. Now we're going to do clean water, which everyone knows is bright blue, isn't it? Everyone knows clean water is bright blue. Actually, there is. I've seen a few places that have kind of lakes and pools that are actually bright blue, but that's to do with the cobalt or something. In one case in China, it was a natural phenomena and also a tourist attraction. And then the other case, which was in Kent in England, yeah, I don't think that was natural, mate. I think that was something to do with the nearby factory. And the one in Kent was strategically hidden by very thick trees. So I just painted a bit of water at the bottom of the bucket. Probably can't see it very well, but there you go. Right, I'm going to go over that green one more time, make it a bit more green. Make it more green. The green isn't green enough. Make it more green. There we go. I ordered from Amazon a whole bunch of dropper bottles, like that kind of style. I'm going to transfer my GW paints into those. I've had enough, no more Mr. Nice Guy. See how that goes. Simply because I thought, well, I'm going to slowly phase out my GW paints, but there's a GW shop opened up the road, which means it's pretty convenient to get paints from, and also spend a whole load of money in there when I go in there just for paints, but that's a different story. So if I will probably continue using GW paints, but I can't use, they don't even do these anymore. They do these like these things. I can't use these anymore. I ain't gonna do it. So I bought 50 50 dropper bottles. I don't know if they're well, we'll see what they're like when they come, I guess. Might even do an unboxing. How interesting. Ah, that's much better. Look at that. Whoa. Yeah. Looks like something you cough up in the morning, isn't it? Someone coughed that up. Right, next let's do the bucket. We're going to do that like silvery metallic lead belcher. Let's call it lead belcher. Let's do it lead belcher, yeah. And while we're doing the lead belcher, we might as well do the pipe as well. Yeah, might as well do the pipe as well. The wagon wheel, yeah, I don't know yet, and the box, I don't know what colour to do that yet. I have to cogitate furiously. Cogitate. Right, see what I mean? There's almost no paint left in there. It's all dried out, and it's all dried out around the inside of the rim. Yeah, and the amount of times I've scraped all this paint out, and it's so annoying having to do that. And I keep having to do it again and again. And it's not like I sit there with the paint pot open. But you know, first world problems, isn't it? Could be worse. It's not like life is difficult. Right, I'm just doing the outside of the bucket. The inside can stay as it is, I reckon. And do the pipe sticking out the side. And we'll do this pipe. Do the pipe. Right. And once again, it's worth having a system so you don't find yourself missing bits. So I did everything I could see from this side, turn it that way, everything I could see from this side, then I'm going to turn it this way, do this side, bish bash bosh, everyone's a winner. Thank you very much. I'm not sure exactly how to paint the dials, the gauges. There are this bit of sprue that I'm painting right now has circular bits on it, like here, 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 and I thought those would make nice. Those would make nice gauges. You know, because every bit of waterwork equipment, I used to work in a waterworks, so gauges all over the place. Pressure gauges, temperature gauges, all kinds of stuff. Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gauges on the side. Think about that in just a second. I'm gonna do the box now. That's the next elephant in the room. So I've just cogitated a little bit, and I thought this is a bit of plant equipment, or you know, as in factory or construction site equipment or something like that. Anyway, they are usually painted bright orange or yellow. You know, like generators and stuff like that. So I'm going to paint it bright orange. This is, what is this? Blazing Orange, Games Workshop. So I painted the other, the wind turbine generator from the core Strontium Dog box set. I painted that orange, it turned out pretty well. So I'm painting it orange. Yeah, totally painting it up. Well, that was a fun build. I made it up as I went along. All the best stuff happens like that. Like, subscribe, comment below. Thank you very much.